would you like me to say that you do?
I am a waiter,
Okay.
model, drag queen artist.
Fantastic. Perfect. That is I'm going to write that down because I might miss one.
Do you want me to look at my camera or do you want me to look at you?
I don't think there's a difference really. Wait, look at the camera.
I'm looking at the camera.
Look at me. Okay, look at the camera. Definitely look at the
Look at the
camera.
camera.
It looks like you're somewhat distracted.
I know.
Alice Vickery.
Well, hello there. My name is Alice Vickery, and you are listening to Cornish Kaleidoscope, the podcast where I go and talk to interesting individuals who have a connection to Cornwall and have used their diversity to somewhat fuel their success, using the many days and weeks and awareness months out there as a guideline to find people like yourself, James / Kendra / Bev, who is a waitress / model / drag queen artist. I don't think I've said slash ever so many times in my entire life, but I like the variety. Hello, James. How are you?
Hello, I'm very good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very excited to be here. And this month of June is Pride Month, National Pride Month. Is it worldwide International Pride Month?
All around I've seen it all over Instagram. Oh yeah, in America, obviously. Everywhere. Yeah,
come on, Alice.
Doing it. Yeah, celebrate. It's amazing.
And I've just done my makeup in the bathroom, right? And I thought I'd done quite a good job on the face in general. And then I look at your eyebrows. I see your eyebrows, and I see that mine are rubbish in comparison, with a big sort of slit in the middle as well, which really isn't helping. I shouldn't have a slit. I'm too old for this nonsense. And yours look lovely. Where did you get them done?
I actually go to a place in Newquay and it's called Boutique UK, or on Instagram it's boutique.cornwall.
Okay.
And the girls there are absolutely amazing. And I went there and I had my eyebrows laminated and had my eyelashes permed and everything else. And they've just had a massive refurb.
Okay.
And it's just so glamorous. It's chandeliers everywhere, and the girls are so lovely. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Okay, I think I might have to copy you and go there. Can I ask you, not to be rude, and we can edit this bit out, but how old are you?
I will be 34 on the 19th of this month.
Shut up, are you? That's, I don't understand people's ages anymore. They make no sense to me. Nobody looks the age that they are.
I know, but
what
it's
funny.
You're
34.
It's funny when I'm in work because a lot of people will think that I'm a struggling student. And I'm like, no, this is my full-time job. I'm not a student. Yeah. And then the dentist wanted me to get my teeth done, which I'm going to do. And he said, oh, you'll have to wear braces for about 2 years. Are you okay with that? And I said, well, people think I'm 21 now. So they're going to think I'm bloody 18.
That is bonkers. Well, you look fabulous. You look fabulous, which I suppose lends itself to your profession. So when did you get into modelling and drag? Was it a two? Was it an overlap, sort of one fed into the other, or how did it all start?
It was. I started modelling when I was 4 years old, with my two much older sisters. And it went on from there. And then it wasn't until I'd left school and everything and I'd moved to Cornwall that I got back into it. And I never wanted to do anything normal. I think I was doing the pink hair androgynous look before Jeffree Star was doing the pink hair androgynous look.
That is saying something.
Of course, I wanted the legs out, the big heels and everything. And I used to do all the catwalks and stuff like that. And then it wasn't until I had met my best friend Dean when I was a dancer in a gay club in Truro. I was a podium dancer. And I met my best friend Dean.
Yeah.
And he said to me, listen, because he had done drag for years in Cardiff. He said, so-and-so's leaving down the pub and they want to surprise him with a couple of drag queens. We'll sing some camp classics and we'll get paid this, and it's an open bar. I said, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And
happy days.
That was it. So we sat there and I learned how to do the makeup properly and everything. And we went and done it and I loved it. And then after that, other people say, oh, could you come and do a gig here? Can you come and do a gig there? And it just went on from there.
That is bonkers. And so there's clearly a demand for it then. So the fact that you said all of that then, and then you said in Truro, it just doesn't correlate for me. Like I've never seen the side of Cornwall that you are clearly part of. So
yeah.
What's it like? I suppose there's a demand for it, but what is the acceptance of it like?
Well, I think there's a demand for it because there was nobody else doing it here.
Right. Yes, that makes sense.
You can book, if you wanted to book a drag queen, you had to book one from up country, which of course can become quite expensive.
Yeah.
So we said, we're here, we're central Cornwall, and it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. People love it. And because I used to travel around with the boys, with the strippers, we used to do the ladies' nights, and we've done so many small towns and everything else, and it's fantastic. People love it. And now it's so mainstream now with RuPaul's Drag Race, and all of these guys, all of these younger queens that are stunning at makeup when you go on Instagram. So everyone's doing it now.
Did you feel the difference when RuPaul's Drag Race started in the UK? Did you notice?
Even with makeup, when me and Dean first started doing it, drag queens use a powder called banana powder to bake underneath the eyes and down here. So when you swipe it off, you get the glow, don't you? Mm-hmm. Well, when me and Dean first started doing drag, we had to buy it by the ounce off of eBay, and it would come in a little baggie. It looked quite suspicious. Now you can go to Superdrug and buy banana powder for £1. Okay, it's crazy. Yeah, the contour sticks and everything else. You never could get anything like that in branded stores and things like that. It's everywhere now, and it's affordable.
Yeah, there's a massive difference between the two. And what about wigs? Because I've tried looking for wigs, and I can't get. I mean, I could get some. I think it may be just because I'm cheap. And I only just want the things that will catch on fire that you can buy from Amazon. But that probably is not the things I should go for. There are good places to buy wigs now, I'm assuming.
Absolutely. There are so many talented people making wigs out there. And like what you said about Amazon, I used to get my Benidorm Bev wig is, you wouldn't go near it with an open flame. Absolutely not. I would cause such an explosion. It would be unbelievable. But that was only about 20 quid off of eBay. And I've had that about 8 years now, and it's still going strong, Wow. But one of my good mates, Lee, he is so talented. He is a hairdresser, a barber, and he does wigs for people like the Vivian off of RuPaul's Drag Race UK. He's just done a wig for one of her press calls, and he lives here. Me and him are good friends, and he had this blonde wig, and he said, "Let me see what I can do with it." And oh my goodness! Also, all my Kendra Anderson pictures, they're all wigs by Envy My Wigs.
The fabulous one, the recent one, which is very sort of. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it gives me sort of Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, kind of slave for you vibes.
Yeah, which I absolutely
love. Yeah. Okay, well
and he's just restyled it now because we've got the Pride bus tour coming up. So the brief that I gave to him was Pamela Anderson, Playboy, and he's just done this with the amazing curls, and I just look at it and I'm too afraid to put it on my head because I just want to stare at it all day.
You just want to look at it because you feel like trash in the presence of this beautiful, beautiful wig, which is,
I do.
Yeah, but you're working, as quite rightly, you deserve something beautiful, as drag queens do. As you said, they've upped their game because it's so much more widely available now, and because of that, drag is up to its game, so you can wear the beautiful things and you can put them on. It's not what it was 10 years ago. And so when did you start again? How long ago was that?
It must have been over 10 years ago. Was when it was 10, 11 years ago when I became friends with Dean, and that was the first time I'd ever been to a Pride, and that was Cornwall Pride when it was based in Truro.
Okay, what was that like? Please tell me what that was like.
Amazing. I had never been to anything like that. I had never had gay friends before. It was brilliant, making the costumes and everything else. And I got to go on the big floats and everything that they had going all the way through Truro. Oh my God, it was the best weekend of my life. I'll never forget that first Pride. It was amazing, absolutely amazing.
Truly sort of coming out, I suppose. So because you said, you didn't have any sort of other gay friends at the time, did your sexuality and Pride and drag all come out at pretty much the same time?
Yeah, I mean, as you can tell, I'm gay. I mean, there's no dispute in that.
But I might have assumed.
Never spoke about it. Yeah, okay. never spoke about it. Was never comfortable speaking about it, and it wasn't until I had met my best friend that I was introduced to a new life. And new friends, and it was fantastic. It was my sense of humor, you know, cracking sense of humor. And I absolutely loved it. Found my world. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, and Pride was a big part of that. And seeing that
Oh God, huge.
Massive. Seeing that develop sort of year on year from where it started 10 years ago. What's the difference between what it's like now in Cornwall, especially? Because I feel like it's so isolated.
We couldn't, of course, we couldn't do Pride last year. So I think it was 2 years ago we had the last one, and I was living in Wales at the time. So I came back for that because me and Dean got a spot on the main stage. And so that was a dream come true, performing on the main stage in the party in the park.
That is so exciting.
Matthew and Nathaniel, that are the two guys that run Pride, they have done wonders with it. I think it was like 8,000 or 10,000 people were there 2 years ago. We had done interviews for the news. I think the BBC or someone were there filming for something.
Something or other.
Oh my God, it was just amazing. And me and Dean always go on the back of the convertible car with the big speakers, and we go all through the town, and it's absolutely packed, such a buzzing atmosphere. And then, not forgetting, on the 25th and the 26th of this month, June, myself and some of the other queens from Cornwall are going to be on the Pride bus tour that's over both those 2 days.
Okay, so why have we not spoken about this? What is
the Pride bus tour? Because we've got the big Pride buses with the flags and everything else, and with the music, and we've got one of the largest Pride flags in the world that we'll be taking around with us. And if you go to the Cornwall Pride Facebook page, it's got all of the locations and times. So over those 2 days, we're going to be going to a different town all over Cornwall and bringing a mini Pride to all the small towns.
This is so wonderful. I love
this. It's amazing. So I've never done it before, but I said, I'll do it.
Yeah, of course, get involved. So you're just going to go and visit everywhere with your massive flag and bring a bit of Pride cheer.
Yeah, do a couple of songs, meet the public. And of course, we talk about a couple of serious things and charities that we support and everything else. And it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Over the years as well, obviously it's got bigger, more people have joined in. When it's come to the sort of more accepting side of the things that are causing more of a ruckus, I can't believe I just used the word ruckus. What am I, 52? You know what I mean, though? More of an issue in sort of the LGBT, more of a dispute. That's the word, in LGBTQ conversations, as in non-binary and sort of women being drag queens and such. Has that started to come into play down in Cornwall?
Since I've started becoming friends with more drag queens and everything down here, there's so many of them down here that are all doing bits and bobs, and men being men on stage, but just wearing androgynous, just doing a little bit of makeup without having to do all the hair and wigs. Women embracing drag. You've got Victoria Scove. She is amazing. And I never know if it's a real girl or if it's a guy that has just painted on the boobs really, really well.
And I'm like, how would you?
I'm like, is that a real woman? And I don't want to go up to the Queen and say, are you female or are you not?
But are you true fish?
Yeah, absolutely fish. Yeah. Whereas when I do Kendra in photographs and stuff, I can make myself look fishy. But in person, being I'm 6'4" as a guy, so you put on 6-inch heels and then you put on the big hair. Oh my goodness gracious, it's a giant. There's no way that I would pass for a woman.
But you love the idea though, of like in photos you look lovely and dainty and delicate, and then in person it's just like this towering presence over the top. But I think that's the fun of it all, isn't it? That is the fun of social media being part of it now, is you can have several different personas. Speaking of, you have several different personas. So you started out with Bev, was it?
Started out with Bev, yeah. Or when I was modelling back in the day, the androgynous, I was known as Jaguar Fierce. That was another one.
I love Jaguar. Fabulous. Jaguar as a name is a good one.
Yeah, and then it was Benidorm Bev, and then I wanted to find a name for the pretty side of it all, and I thought because I loved Playboy growing up for different reasons than what other people might like looking at Playboy for. And I loved Pamela Anderson. And I was like, I want to look like that. So my favorite Playboy bunny is Kendra Wilkinson, and I love Pamela Anderson. So I was like, I'm going to be Kendra Anderson.
You thought that through.
Absolutely. And it would be a dream of mine to model for, I've modeled for Crossdress magazines before as Kendra.
Crossdress, is that a word still in use? Like
so.
I haven't God, I haven't heard that word.
I haven't actually
come out of older people's mouths when they don't know what else to call it, when they call drag cross traffic. I didn't even know that was a...
No, that is quite an old word actually, isn't it? But then again, I am quite old.
No.
Well, I think
I know what you mean. It's just interesting. I haven't heard it said in a very long time.
No, neither have I. But it was definitely like, you know, cross-dress was obviously mentioned back then. Like if I wasn't doing drag, then I guess it would be more cross-dress that I was doing. I was cross-dressing as a woman. I guess it's a lot different now. Of course.
Because I think it's seen somewhat of an insult now, isn't it, to say cross-dressing?
Yeah, of course.
Because if you call a cross-dresser, that's not what they're doing. There's something completely different. And now that's really interesting. So yes, sorry, you came up with Kendra Anderson, and then they have become their own sort of beauty model.
Yeah. And like I'm embracing. I didn't use Kendra on the stage very much because I never found being pretty funny. Whereas Benidorm Bev is a character that's got a life story. Whereas I feel like if I stand on the stage and I look fishy, as you said, then I think, oh, how can I be funny? How can I make this funny? You know what I mean?
Hard.
Whereas Benidorm Bev, she's like the women that we grew up with on the estate, you know. She's lived a hard life. She's been divorced a few times. It's about being on the dole and struggling your way through life. And those stories that we've all got to tell, you either laugh or you cry. So you make them funny.
Exactly. And that's exactly what that kind of person would do, and what you can do with that character. But with Kendra, and you don't want to make her dumb, do you? Because that's not funny. That's not interesting. That's just playing in stereotypes. That isn't a character. That's just, you know, one slice of thing. It'd be interesting to see what you do with her. And do you have any sort of other alter egos on the horizon that you want to explore?
To be honest, I can't afford another one.
Can't afford...
No.
You've... I've got enough. I can't have a single other.
Jesus Christ, they will make me go see a doctor if I start coming out with any more personalities.
Okay,
I mean,
that's fair enough. That's fair. Can I just say as well? I personally, I have 3 or 4. I have 4. It's not in a sort of drag sense. It's just in a sort of alter ego sense. But they've all developed over the years. This is not a come out with a name, and you know, when someone calls their boobs names or something, it's not like that. These are different people. There's Beryl is the first one. She's my sort of old lady, you know, senile, insane old person that wears a sort of purple coat in her 90s and dances and just does not care. And then there's that. She's fun, right? She's really fun. She likes to drink milk. It's sort of one of her things. And then we've got Debbie, who is 42. She's married. She owns a fridge company. She is the woman I become when I'm either scared or cross. Like Debbie specifically is the word cross. And she's somewhat my mother, but my mother's more fun than that. But she really sort of, I turn into Debbie as a whole character persona with that. So that's fun. And then, is it the last one? I want to say the last one. I'm going to say the last one. Tracy on the train.
Tracy on the train.
Like, she's specifically Cornish, right? So she's Tracy on the train, and she's always drunk when she's on the train. If I drink on a train, then I become Tracy. And
love that. I love that.
It's so much fun to have these alter egos. It's so much fun to go into this character.
Well, yeah, I guess we've all got those in our, like, we have a work one as well, don't we?
Yes,
like,
exactly.
when I'm I'm sort of, because I'm originally from Essex, so after a few drinks, I'm Danny Dyer, but in work, I am Mary Poppins. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I know exactly
Extremely
what you mean.
professional.
Yeah, exactly. And whether or not you give that person a name, they are definitely the different kinds of people that you are, because, one situation makes you completely different from another, which I find very interesting. And that's why I love drag. I think that's why I really love drag and what it is. And
to become a different character and dress it up.
Exactly. And really commit yourself to the role. Yes. All right, darling. Well, thank you so much. This was really lovely. This is a lovely chat. My chats are normally so serious on here. It's so nice to have a bit of a fun one.
Could I do a couple of plugs?
Yes, absolutely. Do it now. Get it
Awesome.
going.
So Who Does My Wigs is on Instagram at MV_my_wigs. Yes. Who Does My Beauty is boutique.cornwall. And Who Does My Hair is Mr.Barber.
Thank you so much, James. It's been wonderful.
Thank you so much for talking to me. It's been amazing.